authenticity doesn't necessarily only mean that it's Africa transplanted. Authenticity means that it's true to whoever and whatever has created it. That it feels authentic doesn't only mean that it is pure from its origin, but it's pure from the origin of the artist. And you sense that and you feel it. And people are always wondering, well, was it a committee? I mean, is it by committee? Is this such a collaborative that you don't get to pull through? And it wasn't that style. Why I think this was a wonderfully astute and terrifically creative production team is that they allowed me to pick my team. My freshness, being an outsider, coming in and pushing the story in ways, because it's very hard if you're very entrenched in something to be able to really look at it and be ruthless about it. So that was a very collaborative process. Anything that we could do to make it live and not make it an imitation of a film, but to do what theater can do was extremely important. You have to go and look at Theater for a New Audience, Music Theater Group, La Mama, the Public Theater, any place else that I worked which did projects like Juan Darien or Titus Andronicus, or The Green Bird, or anything that doesn't jump out and reek of safe right off the bat is where you hone your work as an artist. If I hadn't had the kind of fellowship support or whatever to develop these various ways of thinking about theater and creating, how would I have all the skills necessary to do something, to give these guys the confidence to put the money behind and let me do it? It's having the experience and having also the variety, which I'm so concerned about. I mean, you want Broadway to have Rodgers and Hammerstein, and you want Broadway to have Sarafina or to have The Lion King. You want that world, and you've got to be able to keep all these theaters alive. And need to give people support to do that. So, yeah, it's devastating that people would think you could do without the National Endowment and let the big companies support, because they're not going to do that. It's not going to happen, because it needs to be risk-free, totally not for profit, in order to have that experimentation happen. That time to really experiment and to really play and find their voice as artists, and it isn't going to be in the large commercial arena. They're not going to get there yet. It's too risky. That's risky. You need to, they'd seen enough else, other things, to say, okay, she hasn't done this, but look what she's done. Now if we put these two together, that's interesting. But it's not going to be, I was interesting before I did anything, probably, but I wouldn't have had the skill.
Were you now, Missy? Now, were you now?